There he still is,
Стойкость
looking
легендарна.
right through
Есть
you,
наш интерный
with
спирт
his
плюс
white eyes.
1.
The body below is it the ammonia
Блядь.
the second time? Not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Да ебать тебя в рот.
Are you okay, officer?
На шатыры
You're
не
facing
помогает.
typhoid here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal.
А мы можем заняться чем-нибудь другим. Можем раскроем
That's
какое-нибудь другое
probably a good
дело.
idea. Clear our head. But before we can, you need to get your shit together.
Но я не хочу собираться, я хочу быть тряпкой. Хорошо.
We should go talk to the locals.
Тряпка
Find something else to do
собирательства.
while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Бля, какой же я славый. Ай. Тряпка собирательства. Батя позвонил. Так, ты, тряпка, это не к лицу ни полицейскому, ни человеческому существу в целом. Тряпке надлежит прежде всего собраться, привести в порядок эту мягкую расхлебанную массу, чтобы вывести себя из состояния тряпки. Собери яйца в кулак и держи не менее 30 минут. А потом сделай нечто подобное с полушариями своего мозга. Поговори с людьми, вдруг поможет. Собираю тряпку. Сука, я тебя когда-нибудь сниму с этого ебаного дерева. Кто-то пытается выращивать травы в теплице. Че я там должен что-то вскрыть за теплицей, по-моему, какую-то дверь. Опа, мусорка. Буква R, украшенная короной, ниже надпись на ленте «Свет над погружением».
This trash container
Этот
is
мусорный
locked.
бак заперт.
The sliding lid
Замок
has a
ставится
padlock
танцы в
that
тряпье.
says, "Whirling in
Почему я смотрю на
rags."
тебя, мусорный бак? Ты же просто мусорный бак.
Just a trash container. There is
Просто
no such
мусорных
thing.
баков не бывает.
Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock.
И к нам,
We could
как
try
нам
using
открыть
a pry
замок?
bar. The one you took from my motor carriage. Or
Никаких или, только монтировка.
we might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags.
Блять,
He probably has one.
сука. Да ебать, да что ж я такой, сука, Сильвер русом, что тебя не стримит, понял? Ой. Свин съел арбуз, получается. Ту-ду-ду. О, кухню открыли. В сушилке стоит посуда, она пахнет моющим средством и хвоей. О, деньги. Воздух наполнен ароматами специй, алкоголя и помидоров.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood.
А чё у него за
Occasionally,
турик?
as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something. It must be his name. Goranci. Goranci
А,
Coupe.
Горанцы, у
Sounds
меня к вам пару
represents the
вопросов.
man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles. It's
не мой.
almost like music, especially.
Не, с немыми разговаривать я не буду.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Хардстоуна, не надеюсь, турик. Перед тобой тяжелая стальная дверь с крупным парфюмированным замком. Пиздец, турик по Хардстоуну, ну он и придумал. Но опять эти близзарды подкрутили ему, понятно. Попытаться
The
толкнуть
door
дверь.
does not budge. The
Потрогать
cobalt blue
дверь.
surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side.
Парфюмированный замок, ну и чё? Дверь сделана из нержавейки.
Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, it leads to a side building.
Интересно,
Adjacent to
куда
this
же ведет
new
эта
door.
дверь?
It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care?
The winch, outside, in the backyard. Remember?
Снаружи
No.
на крыше был
Your
подъемник.
fingers do.
Как-то там, как от этого маленького лифта.
Well, if there was a winch, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation.
Угу. Ага, стороннее
Garth
мини-расследование.
is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Ну, сука. Кафетерий менеджер. Я иду к тебе.
Can I help you?
Мусорный бак на заднем
No,
твой.
it belongs to the whirling in
Мусорка,
rats.
а?
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out.
Давай я
That's
сейчас
why.
так туда
thought as
залезу.
much. And are you the only party with access?
Well, yes. Us and...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
Какое-то интересное ощущение. Что это?
Prod at him and find out.
Потыкай его и узнаешь. А что, если я сам бомж? Или скоро им стану и буду копаться в мусоре? Ты и меня не пустишь?
Yes.
Так уставший. Yes. Но без тех объедков я помру с голову. Ой, с голоду. Мудро, я бы тоже не пустил. Дай человеку удочку.
I'm not a fishing teacher. That is not why we keep our trash locked. Any place with a kitchen does it. It's not political, I assure you.
Нам нужны ключи от
What do
бака.
you need?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done,
Блядь.
please.
Гард, я увидел в танцах еще кое-что.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
В задней части кухни есть таинственная стальная синяя дверь.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Ты знаешь, что за ней?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Мне кажется, тебе интересно, что за дверью.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a
Понятно,
key,
он
so
не знает.
good luck with that. Yes?
Пока.
You see,
Блять. Чел, ты знаешь, что за этой дверью?
the man ponders his He looks up at you, then looks away quickly. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Пожимает плечами международный знак. Понял? Ты кто, блять? А,
That
просто
sugary
сидишь?
black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost,
Не
oh,
сейчас.
excuse me.
Мы завязываем. Ту-ту-ту-ру-ту-ту. Так, что это?
An old call
Oh,
box
ёб
with
твою
a
мать.
matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce
Просто
Center.
нет. Нет. Что там, полчаса не прошло еще? Ну, ключ мне дали, похуй. Пора вскрываться.
This trash container is locked.
Грубая
The
сила.
sliding lid
Либо
is a
как
pack
нормальный
with a
человек.
well-oiled crack. The lock pop. Don't. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Of the
Открывай
smell
давай.
of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a
Мусор
week.
не возили больше недели. Вернусь под
You
картонные
see
коробки.
milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Погрузиться
No,
глубже.
searching for good practice. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages
Поднять
among the
тряпки.
threadbare kitchen towels. Something as the legs of the
Джинсы.
slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the... Are these the victim's clothes? The smell is not nearly as bad as the cadaver. These
Cadaver in odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, drop them in here, officer.
Опа.
Yes. I think the clothes were taken off to get to that armor he wore, then discarded. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or emptied. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else?
Something slimy catches your eye.
Протянуть руку. О, да.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food.
This is a military type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib knit shirt that...
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just
Alright. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key.
The fuck's he on about? Kids! You hear that, Kuno?
See?
Да пошла ты нахуй.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Зарыться в бак, как настоящий бомжекоп.
Wow, an armistice caliber 50 knock cannon.
Что?
Half
Где?
wrapped
Не
in paper
вижу.
tissues. Never mind. Look at that fat string of archipelagon pearls snaking amidst the banana. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That
Я
catches
его
quite a
продам.
price. No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings.
Я не могу прямо отсюда тряпку собрать свою. Нет, ты не продашь, потому что все это за правду. Опа. Довольно жестокая шутка. Ну что-то везде
All you
должно
see
быть.
is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking.
Моя кружка. Покопаться в
It's
пищевых
just organic
отходах.
waste, cold and slime. What's this?
А что это такое? Что?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels.
With a
Something
sheet.
larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still not just any man's. This dense cursive.
Убористый почерк.
yours.
Твой.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
Это мой
There's
почерк.
a lot of it too. And you've got an autopsy form in there, in the back. That light pink copy paper.
О, бля.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
Наверное, портил мой стиль. У меня от него какое-то дурное
What are you
предчувствие.
talking about?
Я реку на неведомом языке. Чё?
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's
Да, да, короче, я
adversaries,
так и
it would also
сделаю.
not hurt to...
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Мои дела.
That's one thing off the list.
Все проверил. Так, тряпка собирательства.
Compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Все белые проверки разблокированы. Интересно.
There he still is, looking
Добрался,
right through you.
тряпка.
With his white eyes. The body below is...
Да блять!
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time.
Да ёбаный рот. Даже после того, как я был тряпкой, но собрался, да как это вообще
I'm at a loss
возможно?
as well. I could swear your shit was together, detective.
Sometimes even that is not enough.
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough.
Relax. It's okay if you don't make it today. the bloated
Ай,
corpse
блядь,
isn't
мне реально нужна парфюмированный замок, походу, какой-то. Блядь, пойду-ка за своим этим нашатырным спиртиком, блядь, может, прохнет. Сука. Или я его больше не могу купить.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Блять, пиздец. Этот труп побеждает меня. Блять. Сука, мне надо еще 30 опыта где-то высрать, чтобы еще раз попытаться его снять.
There he still is, looking right through you.
Понятно. F5. Так, испорченный журнальчик, вот и он.
It's the legend found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board.
Понятно.
Right. What more do you need? A rubber condom stuck to the back. A graffito that says defeated. I think you catch the drift.
Смотреть
An
за
aluminium
фильм.
block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the rights.
Что
What?
это?
That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal
понятно.
halogen.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Понятно.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag, they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into... Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. Work, strife, poverty, the general quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations
старенькие.
dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week
По 2
on
дела в
average. What do you
неделю.
mean? Is that all?
Дело не делать нормально, загружается
А?
лейтенант.
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Кажется, я брал по 2 дела в неделю, но я раз раскрыл их.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
Я совсем
That's
выгорел.
okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of girls, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense.
Записи.
It's inornate, nearly illegible, pedagogical somehow. Brash. It must be yours for you to be able to read it. These are the lines of someone who has written by... Your hand cramps up merely looking at the scribbles, drawn as by some magnet to the red checkered margins. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine
Ого,
show
если написано заглавными
Yes,
буквами.
all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The
Квадратная
Square
пуля.
Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The
Незакрываемое дело.
Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the
Убийство в
hookah parlor.
кальянной.
Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement.
Бля, Санька
Murder,
ёбнули
it's
походу.
going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had
Кажется, я
little
назвал
idea
одно
how
из
to
тех
do
квадратная
Again,
пуля.
in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person, His death was real. Still, I named it. I pray his loved ones never find out.
С-
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down
Ручка
lead pencil.
есть.
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. Too fat, shiny. He is not really saying anything, just standing there.
Да ну.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
Теперь, когда у тебя есть такая красота, изложите все в письменном
The
виде.
tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letter. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry. Things to be done and things already done. The
No, actually. Any ideas?
А демоны ярости живут в зеркалах. Говно на палке. Повешенный.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged
30
Man.
опыта.
It's good we sorted it.
Ебать. Есть шанс снять этот труп. О, блядь. Это
The
все?
notebook is annual. It says 51. You don't exactly close them so much as distance yourself from the
Я
smelly
могу тебе
papers.
разнакомиться с
They're a
делом.
little further from you. It's proving
Не
to be
могу.
harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back. Arson, petty theft. You don't exactly close. In the back, you see thin,
страницы.
translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And you don't have to be an intellectual
Чтобы
giant
выполнить
to do
полицейскую
police
роль, не
work.
нужно быть большим интеллектуалом. Правда,
A
нарушение
monetary
общественного
penalization
порядка.
ranging from 20 to 250 real.
Нихуя.
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and
Повестка.
time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the all in
ладно.
a print so small it could be a dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameter. Yes,
Понятно.
all that remains now is to
Ебать,
fill
50
those
очков
forms
опыта.
and hand them to people. Fines for wrong. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear.
Смотреть
It's made
планшет.
of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your... Something rattles inside, ever so lightly, and
Тайник.
something small inside. Light. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. With your hands, U4
your
sized pages hang
hands.
from the clip, screwed to the top of the
92%.
board.
Эх.
The
Повезло.
two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slide. The slides snap back into place. Without resistance, or two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings.
Тентакли.
The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs
Убейся
extra.
нахер, ублюдок.
The words just crossed your mind somehow.
Моргнуть.
You see two ticket stubs and a handmade card.
Взять открытку.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it.
Понюхать.
Smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. You think the label says
Tutti-frutti.
tutti
Открыть.
familiar handwriting lines that a young woman in her 20s. There is Harry. It begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can throw it away, please.
Но оно меня порадует.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. Your hands shake,
улетело.
holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs, and the blood. You feel the ledger slip. No. Hold on. To
Дерется.
what?
Detective, is everything alright?
Пасть на бок. Блять, я умер от открытки. Блять, да ёбаный рот. Good end.
There is nothing. Again. Nothing said,
Ничего.
brother. No treachery. Well, almost nothing. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Кто
Who was
это
what?
был?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping for it
Да-да.
here in the paleo-mammalian cortex because it's always there.
Tell him.
Скажи,
Ah, yes.
скажи.
In the old factory system they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on
Какой
it. It
приятный
didn't
запах.
smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Это была бывшая кто-то там. Это
Noted corpse of the past resurfacing.
всплывший на поверхность раздутый труп прошлого. Нет, это было красиво.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape.
Где
It's
находится
lack
Voyager
of-
Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no
Значит, меня
lights in
зовут
the
Гарри.
windows.
Блядь, ну мы же
It's
это уже
all your
знаем.
name.
It certainly ain't. Your name is
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecule.
Что это такое?
Yes.
Холодно.
they're pouring something.
It's delicious.
Опа.
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Где
The
я?
upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the
Drink. Water.
The
Выпить.
water is cold,
Заебись.
silvery.
Я
The stuff
думал,
of
меня
life
открытка
itself as
убила.
it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The dark.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter.
What happened?
Я наткнулся на, на выгоревшие руины из своего
That
прошлого.
does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Давай раскроем это дело.
Good.
Отлично. Так,
Hobo.
мысль бомжиков.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old l'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon. Then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all
Коллекционные
yours
бутылки.
at last.
Так, мне надо стойкость как-то прокачать. Блять, у меня есть идея, что я могу сделать. Насколько я помню, в этом же желтенький дождевичок дает стойкость вроде бы как раз. Сука, ну если я с дождевичком не
You
вывезу,
see
блять, ну это
several
пизда.
packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants.
There you go.
Спасибо. Так. Теперь я одет как черт. Мне просто так впадло тратить вот этот 1 ПТС ради этой ебучей стойкости, чтобы понюхать этот ебаный труп.
There he still is,
А, не
looking
могу.
right through you.
Сука, тогда я еще не проебал.
There he still is, looking
92.
right through you with his
Пока
white
ловит.
eye. As you breathe in,
Ух,
the odor
блядь.
comes over you. It's a spell of the mind. This delicate machine, ready for picking. Instinctively, you crack your fingers. The man before you is naked, but for a pair, the material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark
ботинки.
contrast to the decaying flesh, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world. These are clearly not boots. They're armor. Possibly
Indeed. Technically speaking, this ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide most likely, is under the heel. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
А куда же
The
остальная
locals
броня
probably
делась?
scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
Может, понятно.
the
короче говоря.
sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Такой материал выглядит
It
здесь
is.
неуместным.
It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, for a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
Да, это именно это.
It means disciplinary here.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area, so just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I agree. This equipment is...
A small
там в
bell-like
ботинках?
sound fills the air. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
По звуку кажется хрупким.
The metal connects with the same ding. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long duck.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a
Uh-huh.
kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the...
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly
Мне
resistant
что-нибудь
wood. If
напоминает.
trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Провести пальцем
The
по
smooth, glossy
линиям.
surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100,
Похоже на
1000.
серийник.
Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when...
The stench fills your nostrils as
Stop!
Остановись.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Ой, это плохая идея,
You're
да?
going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do.
indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Мы что, не детективы, что ли? В этих ботинках могут быть
How many
улики.
clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are
Красивые
fused to his
ботинки.
feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Украсть ботинки Мерса, но это же так бесчестно.
All right then, you can pay the hostel bill in honor points.
Э,
How many honor points have you collected?
а что тогда с
Of
очками
course there
счастья?
aren't. Don't be naive.
Ладно.
Processing will take care of them.
The cadaver slow. The hangman's knot
Ремень.
is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow,
Что это за
hard-edged
веревка?
polyester.
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Грузовой
Yes,
порт.
it looks like they use whatever was on hand. The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Все, мое прошлое подверглось тотальному уничтожению. Ничего не осталось. У меня нет ни матери, ни любви, ни моей жизни, и уж точно никакого-то водного инструктажа.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a
По
grown man.
лестнице
I
поднялись.
didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the
Возможно.
branch supports the theory.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel
Армированный
reinforced.
полиэстер.
See these lines?
Сука, и он умудрился
This is
порваться,
where
что
the
ли?
warriors run.
А, не,
I
вряд
see
ли.
rub. This makes getting him down.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An
That's
intricate
here.
web of blue lines stretches across the torso. From the right shoulder to the solar
Карта
plexus.
ночного
Map of the
неба.
stars.
Сука,
I
морячок.
do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great century.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed.
Что
That you
это?
get sunshine. Mini.
Тригат Саншайн. Понял.
Kuno, what the fuck is that?
An
Там
instant
похуй.
color camera.
Камера.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour.
In case we need it.
Крутая техника.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. Sure. Just don't lose it.
А,
The
ну ладно.
glassy-eyed corpse looks by. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue.
Эти глаза должны быть
Dark brown
голубыми.
hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode
И ты
from the
скажи мне,
organic
кто
processes
ты.
inside.
Блять. Меня здесь нет. Я вижу, что тебя уже нет, но
I'm
кто
a
ты?
joke. Look at me.
Теперь да, но кем ты был при жизни?
Killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
У меня к тебе другой вопрос.
Go ahead, Coppo.
А где ты?
Into the wild pale yonder. In
Где
the
это?
past.
Далеко,
Way
далеко.
out.
Понятно. Что происходит?
What do you mean?
Я с тобой
It's the
разговариваю.
power of your imagination. Go ahead.
Не.
Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoony.
Коперуни?
Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Выдай мне геометрически смешное количество
Come
вопросов.
right up, copperoony, Rooney.
Меня зовут
This is getting
Руни.
upbeat. Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Я не Руни, я Гарри.
No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker.
А пошел ты
That's
нахуй.
because you have
Кто тебя убил?
loved me in Provocopo. It was love all along.
А ты можешь задать мне вопрос?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes.
Потому что он
Dead
так
in the end,
сказал.
You're a lying sack of shit, Coppo. You're doing this because there is nothing else
Ты
to do.
противный, скучный и
Do I
вонючий.
remind you of someone?
Младенца, страдающего
You
орлыкизмом.
sure we got out of that one? Coppellini. Come
Достаточно.
back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest
Лицо,
of the corpse appears
блядь.
dark green in the cold spring air.
лицо и руки розовые, бедра тоже.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think?
Я думаю, что он труп. Его
I
били.
do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them.
Ну да, как минимум
Delinquents have
камнем,
made
блядь,
our jobs
ебашили.
harder.
Stop talking in riddles. He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Я думаю, что
I
он
agree.
труп.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally
Согласен.
dead.
Нет, эту мысль лучше не высказывать, она слишком
Sure.
громоздкая.
The corpse looks by, oblivious. Black decay liquid drops from his knee
Я думаю,
to
после
his
смерти он
boot.
пребывал в вертикальном положении, кожа в руках и ногах, и шея потеряла
Agreed.
цвет.
Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The
Похоже на
hypostasis
самосуд.
support- Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling.
Как будем
Are you
снимать-то?
sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Мы все подготовили.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Мы можем отпилить
Climb up
ветку.
there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
В смысле, это ветка же, а не дерево, блядь. А нельзя бросить кого-нибудь
Someone else?
подсобить?
You mean like the police?
Звони в полицию.
Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you.
Блядь.
Please, I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a
Yeah. Bang bang.
Отстрелить.
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Указать на эту точку.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot...
Yeah. Now we're talking. They'll miss. The pigs will miss, Kuno.
Ну что плохого может случиться? Ты можешь ему ебальник отстрелить.
Silence. And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in
Опа.
the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks,
Я подсвечу, давай.
securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim.
He's gonna fucking miss.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the...
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but
Fucking idiot.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too.
the lieutenant doesn't say.
Remain collegial, officer. It was an honor. No, we are lucky as it is. Any more mistakes could put... I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down with...
You know, you don't feel like too bad.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one.
This is the sorriest pair
Один
of pigs.
ствол на двоих.
Take it, you fucking banana poika.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal
Блядь, я
is
чувствую, я ему
surprisingly
ебальник
light.
выстрелю.
You've held this, an A9 armistice, before.
The fuck are you waiting for?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me?
Your field of view narrows.
Детка
The
медленно
branch slowly
покачивается.
moves, becoming the slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Давай.